किस बटन? मेरा तो और जूम हो गया इसमें। अबे हम ये क्या ले लिए? क्या हुआ तेरा?
क्या करें अब?
Good morning to all the respected dignitaries, my fellow faculty members, and my dear students. I welcome you all on the third day of RM 2021. I hope you all are doing well, and I wish you a very happy Vishwakarma Puja. So let's start today's session by worshipping Goddess Saraswati, who is a symbol of knowledge, nature, music, art, by our auspicious lamp lighting ceremony. Abhishek, please play the video.
शिशु है अज्ञानी माता, किन चरणों का प्यार दे। तेरा पानी तार दे, माँ सरस्वती शारदे, माँ सरस्वती शारदे।
Thank you, everyone. Now moving ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
The cultural activities enhance the confidence level of the students, thereby allowing them to perform better. These activities develop the personality of the student and assist them in shaping a good career. In fact, students can also take the advantages of participating in various activities. So, I will be sharing with you a few glimpses of festival and activities of Arka Jain University. Abhishek, please play the video.
Yes, 1 minute, Khushbu ma'am, just a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sarvan sir आए हैं क्या?
Yes, sir.
Joined?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm online.
Sarvan sir, welcome,
Yes,
welcome sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Arka Jain University, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Glad to see you. As
Thank you,
for
sir.
your commitment, you are in time, and we are proud and privileged to welcome to this orientation and induction program around 21. And definitely our students will be encouraged with your benign presence, sir. You are not only the guest, you are also the BOS member of partner of this university. I am thankful to Viramani sir for his kind support, and we are proud to be a good partner of MOU partner of Forts India Limited. Thank you once again. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm also privileged too.
Please continue, Khushbu ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Abhishek, play the video. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would request to my co-host, Ms. Yogita Kumari, to please take over the. Thank you, ma'am.
Just a declaration, ma'am. For today's session,
Yes.
the associate professor, Mr. Alok Maharana, will be the moderator.
Yes, sir.
So onwards, he will manage. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning, respected Dean, sir, dignitaries, and our chief guests. It has been rightly said, there's a powerful driving force inside every human being that, once unleashed, can make any vision, dreams, or desire into a reality.
Recording in progress.
By Anthony Robbins. With this zeal, let's begin our very first session of the day. A very good morning and greetings to one and all. I, Yogita Kumari, behalf of School of Pharmacy, Arkajan University, welcomes you all to the third day of Aram 2021. But before I begin this session, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you present here virtually with us. Now, the moment of pride for us as I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. K. Sharavanan Kumar, Corporate QA Head, Forts India Laboratories Private Limited, Tamil Nadu. We are very much fortunate enough, sir, to have you virtually with us. Sir is a postgraduate in pharmacy and having 25 years of experience in pharmaceutical industry. Graduated from Madurai Medical College and post-graduation from BITS Pilani. He is also the life member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association and National Institute for Quality and Reliability. Sir has started his career as research scientist in TTK Pharma Limited, Chennai, followed by his assignment as development scientist with Dabur Research Foundation, New Delhi. Currently, Sir is Associate Vice President, Corporate Quality in Forts. Forts India Lab Private Limited is one of the fast-growing pharmaceutical companies in India. Forts was founded in the year 1977 with a strong commitment to deliver quality healthcare. Forts is an ethical, transparent, spirited, and vibrant organization with progressive outlook. At present, Forts products are marketed all over India and over more than 40 countries around the world. Forts has got 2 manufacturing plants in Chennai and is backed by a dedicated team of over 1,500 professionals. With these words, I welcome you, sir. We are delighted to have you virtually today with us. Sir will be sharing his knowledge on the topic quality in pharmaceuticals. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Nice introduction. Am I audible?
Thank you, sir.
Audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. I hope I'll be able to share the screen for my computer. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to
Yes,
thank
sir.
my Force management for giving the permission for presenting this particular session. And also, I would like to thank the management of Arka Jain University for giving me this opportunity to be with you in this day. And good morning to everyone, and hearty welcome to the students who are getting onboarded into the world of pharmacy. Just I thought of introducing my background, how I got into this course. I hope it be of interest to you. After completing my 12th standard, I decided myself to choose healthcare discipline. So I made the application for 3 courses: medicine, B Pharmacy, and diploma in pharmacy. So I missed that medicine course by few marks. I got the selection for B Pharmacy course in government college. And my name was listed as in the top for D Pharmacy course. That's how I got into this pharmacy course. From the day onwards till date, let me tell you, I never had any regrets that I have chosen this particular course. So in that sense, let me congratulate all my students for choosing this right decision by selecting this course. I also want to congratulate the parents of the students for making this right choice for the students. So with this introduction, just I thought of starting this particular topic, quality in pharmaceuticals. When Dr. Sahu suggested, when Dr. Sahu asked me to choose some suitable topic for the students, I chose this topic for a couple of reasons. Quality in pharmaceuticals. The term quality is not prevalent in the curriculum of pharmacy students. At least I know the curriculum which is being followed in Tamil Nadu. I don't know about your university. So the term, we are talking a lot of things about the science-based things, but many times we are finding that the word quality is missed in the curriculum. So I thought of giving some background about quality to the students to give some sort of brief introduction. And also I'm a person from the quality unit. So I thought of sharing my experience about this topic. This is how this topic was chosen. So now, so in this session, in this about 30 minutes period of time, we are going to see some basics about quality and what do we mean by the word quality assurance, quality control, and we shall be concluding the session with few slides on good manufacturing practice. That's a key word for the success of pharmaceutical companies all over the world. So what is quality? What do we understand by the word quality? I can say that the word quality is one of the most used as well as the misused terminology across the world, both by the corporates and by the layman's understanding. So I would love to have the comments from all these students. What do they understand by the term quality? But being a virtual session, let me give the explanation from my side because we may not be having the opportunity to interact directly with the people. In simplest definition, the term quality means appropriateness for its intended application. For an example, you want to purchase a commodity. After purchasing the commodity, if you feel that as a customer, it is fulfilling all the requirements for which you have bought this particular commodity, we can say that it's simply a quality product. This is a very basic definition for the word quality, and it has come into the existence in somewhere in 1950s, and it was used by the great quality gurus like Dr. Deming, Dr. Giron, when they were promoting the quality among the industries. Being in some scientific community, let us understand the terminology quality from ISO definition. As per ISO 9000, the quality is defined as the degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills requirements, which may be stated or sometimes implied. I'm sure many of you may not be able to really understand the definition because it's a bit sophisticated definition for the term quality. So let me try to explain it by giving some sort of breaking of this particular definition into three components. Let's break this definition into three components. First part is a set of inherent characteristics, and second part is the requirement, and third part is the word degree. Let me explain this with an illustration. With an illustration, we can take. I think as a student, you may be loving to have some two-wheelers like Mobike. So let me take this example of Mobike for understanding the definition quality. As we discussed, let us split this definition into three components. The first component is a set of inherent characteristics. Assume that you want to purchase a bike. Now you are going to the showroom. While going to the showroom, you'll be having a set of expectations in your mind in defining your dream bike. You may be having some choices about the color. You may be having some expectations about the mileage of the bike. Hello? You may be having some expectations with respect to the performance of the product. That is a bike, and some safety features you would like to have in the bike. And you may also have some dreams about the style, durability, ergonomy, and comfort, whatever you are expecting from the product. These are all called inherent characteristics. We call this as inherent characteristics for the reason that whatever we are defining, it is applicable for the commodity what we have chosen. Here we have chosen Mobike as the commodity. So all these attributes are applicable for this Mobike. Suppose I want to buy a mobile phone, then these inherent characteristics can be different. So this part is the first part of the definition of quality, the inherent characteristics. Part 2, these are the requirements. These are the requirements about these attributes. For an example, let's take the example of a color. When you are talking about the color, you may be having your own choices. Someone may like red, someone may like green, someone may like blue, someone may like black. When you're talking about the mileage, people will be having their own set of expectations, like somebody may like the bike of minimum 50 kilometers per liter of fuel, or sometimes 100 kilometers. Sometimes the customers may expect even more than 100 kilometers also. In the same way, with respect to the performance, people may have their own choice of having a particular CC engine capacity for the performance of the vehicle. These are all called requirements about the attributes what we have chosen as part of the inherent characteristics. Now you are going to the showroom. There the salesperson is showing some bike and he is talking about the features of the bike. Now you are finding how much this product is meeting to your requirements. The most important part of the definition is the degree. To what extent or that particular commodity is able to fulfill your expectations, that determines the word quality. For an example, you are going with the expectation that you want to have a bike of black color with a mileage of about minimum 80 kilometers per liter. And you want to have the performance of the bike in terms of the engine design of 150 cc. You are finding all these attributes in the bike which is shown by the salesperson. When you feel that all your expectations are getting fulfilled, you are getting delighted, and you call that product as a quality product. Suppose another customer enters into the same showroom and he's also seeing the same commodity. In some cases, it may not fulfill the expectations of the other customer. For an example, he wants to have a bike of yellow color, which is not available in the particular showroom. He may be expecting 150 kilometers per liter of performance in the vehicle in terms of mileage, or he may be liking to have some sort of expectation with respect to engine performance. So in this case, the same commodity meets the requirement of one customer who claims it as a quality product. At the same time, the same product fails to meet the expectations of another customer who claims that as a not up to the mark bike. Now we need to understand that the word quality is in relative terms. There is no absolute definition for the word quality. In other words, I can say that the word quality originates from the mind of the people and ultimately it is reaching the customer. So we have to clearly understand that the word quality means it's a relative sense and it is originating from the mind of the customer and ultimately reaching the customers. This is a very basic definition we need to understand, because many times we are using the word quality without understanding what it means in terms of its definition. I think I hope some clarity about this particular subject. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you able
Yes,
to are you able to follow me, or do you want
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Being in pharmaceuticals, let us understand what is quality in pharmaceuticals. The foremost requirement for any good pharmaceutical product is the safety. A good pharmaceutical product is expected to be safe. When we are using the word safety, we have to be little cautious about it. For that reason, that when we are saying safety, it means that the product should be free from undue reactions. The word undue is very important here because we are dealing with medicines. When you're talking about the medicines will be having its desirable effects. At the same time, it will also be having some sort of effects which is not desired by the patient. But unfortunately, it's an integrated package. For an example, I want to take paracetamol to relieve my headache. So when I'm taking paracetamol, my intended action is I want to get rid of my headache. But at the same time, this paracetamol is going to have some amount of load for my liver function. We cannot get away from that. But here I'm confirming that my benefit is more than the damage what it's going to cause in my body. So here we cannot say that by seeing that liver function, we cannot say that it's not a quality product. because it's a part and parcel of the molecule. We cannot get away from that. So here we are not talking anything safety element pertaining to the liver function. In another situation, I'm taking paracetamol, but I'm getting diarrhea. The diarrhea is no way attributed to the molecule paracetamol. In this case, we can call it a substandard product, but we cannot comment on the product with respect to safety by claiming its liver function impact, because it's an integrated package. All the molecules are having their own desired effects, at the same time some amount of the undesired effects also. So here we are talking about safety mainly to claim that the product should be free from undue reactions. The second component of quality is efficacy. A good pharmaceutical product is expected to elicit the pharmacological action for which it is being taken. Here also we have to be a little bit cautious in understanding that every human being is unique by design. Their body design is unique, and no two human beings is alike in this world. When we are having this much of variety in the human body, the response of the molecule to the human beings is also differing to some extent. When I'm taking paracetamol, it may be giving very good results for me. At the same time, for my friend, he may be hypersensitive for that molecule. Or sometimes the product may not elicit the response in another person. So here we have to see the understanding of efficacy in totality. To what extent, to what majority of the people it is giving the desired pharmacological effect, that we have to understand in the form of the word efficacy. By seeing that my product is not giving response in one particular patient, we cannot claim that it's not a good product. Even when we are doing these studies like bioavailability, bioequivalence studies, we are deciding the quality of the product mainly based on to what extent it is giving the desired response in the majority of the population being treated. In that sense, we have to define whether it is a quality product. The third component of quality is the purity. Here we need to understand something. Of course, in your curriculum, you'll be learning a lot of things about this. In pharmaceutical industries, the standard for the pharmaceutical products is being defined in the form of a standard called pharmacopoeias. In India, we have to follow Indian pharmacopoeia. We are also having the provisions for following the other pharmacopoeias like British pharmacopoeia, United States pharmacopoeia, and also Japanese pharmacopoeia. So these pharmacopoeias are providing some standards for all the pharmaceutical products. Whenever we are designing the product, whenever we are developing the product, whenever we are manufacturing the product, we have to ensure that all the products which you are going to market, they are meeting the requirements of this pharmacopoeia. The pharmacopoeia prescribes standards in terms of its purity in the form of assay. And it's also prescribing some standards for the maximum limit for any kind of impurities which are possible in the particular product. And it's also giving certain standards for the performance of the product, like dissolution, disintegration, like that. So when you are going to evaluate the product, it has to meet all the requirements of the pharmacopoeia. Based on that, we can claim that as a quality product. If it is not meeting any of the requirements of the pharmacopoeia, it will be called as a substandard product. And the last, but not the least one, is the identity. Whenever you are seeing any pharmaceutical product in the market, you'll be seeing a lot of information as part of the label information, starting from generic name, brand name. You'll be finding the composition of the product. You'll be finding storage requirements of the product. You'll be finding direction for the use of the product. Also the information like manufacturing license number, batch number, manufacturing date, expiry date. In this way, there'll be a lot of information which are being furnished as part of the label information. All these label informations are being printed on the packing of the product as per the requirements of drugs and cosmetic rules of India, rule number 96. In rule number 96, we call it as manner of labeling. If you want to put any product into the Indian market, it has to fulfill the requirements of this rules 96 of drugs and cosmetic rules. If it is not meeting the requirements of this rule 96, that kind of product is called misbranded drug. So when you have all these four components built into the product, safety, efficacy, purity, and identity of the product rightly built into the product, then we can call it as a quality product. So we should never forget these four components. It's going to be a lifetime learning for you to understand the quality of the product. Safety, efficacy, purity, and identity. How we can build this quality into the pharmaceutical products? Let us get into some basics. There are three basic principles for quality assurance. Let us have a glance of it. Principle one is quality, safety, and effectiveness must be designed and built into the product. This means that how you are designing the product in your research and development. When you want to develop any pharmaceutical product, first you have to determine the requirements which you want for that particular product. Once the requirements are being defined, then we have to develop the product in such a way that we are building all these requirements as part of the product design. That's what it says. If you are not able to have the right development for the product, we cannot expect a good quality product in the market. So the first step is designing the product. This is the birth of a product from the R&D department. The second principle is quality cannot be inspected or tested into the finished product. I would say the concept of quality assurance was born mainly based on this principle too. Here we have to clearly understand that testing of any product, not only a pharmaceutical product, for the sake any commodity, testing of the product is merely the verification of the quality, and it is not talking about the quality in completeness. So where we can have this quality, the quality actually comes from the manufacturing. Yes, you are building the quality during the manufacturing. Whatever the testing you are going to do at the end of the manufacturing, the full picture about the quality of the product. So quality cannot be inspected or tested into the finished product. Principle number 3, each step of the manufacturing process must be controlled to maximize the probability that the finished product meets all quality and design specifications. This talks about the consistency of your manufacturing process. That means whenever we are manufacturing the product, independent of the day, independent of the date, independent of the person who is involved in the manufacturing activity, all the manufacturing process should be controlled in such a way that we are able to give a consistent product to all our patients. So here it's talking about how you are able to provide consistency in your manufacturing process. There are certain principles to be followed to see that manufacturing process may be being controlled in such a way that we are able to provide consistent product to the patients. All these 3 principles forms the basis for this quality assurance. In order to comply with these 3 principles, we have to do a lot of activities which makes the quality assurance. Here, just I have listed only the 5 elements, I can say these are 5 major elements to build the quality into the product. As I already explained, it starts from the design. While designing the product, we have to build all the requirements of the product into the product design itself. Second one is control on starting and packing materials. Whenever we are manufacturing the product, we need to exercise control on starting materials because we cannot give a wonderful product using a substandard materials. So we need to have good quality raw materials which are going to be used for the manufacturing of the product. Third one is manufacturing operations and control. That means when you are doing the manufacturing, we need to exercise controls on the manufacturing process in such a way that we are able to maintain consistency in our operations. On the other side, we need to perform certain activities like calibration and validation. These are the activities which are performed to ensure consistency in the performance of equipments, both manufacturing as well as the testing equipments. After all these things, there is a regulatory requirements. You should understand that pharmaceutical industry is one of the strictly governed industry by the governments. It's one of the most regulated industry. It is being controlled by a lot of rules and regulations. And one of the rules and regulations is good manufacturing practice. That good manufacturing practice says that the salient aspect of quality assurance is control on product release. Once the manufacturing of the product is getting completed, that product has to be handed over to an independent unit in an organization, in a pharmaceutical company called Quality Assurance Department. They are reviewing the manufacturing of the particular batch of the product, and they are also verifying the test results of the product. And finally, after reviewing all the manufacturing and testing records, that independent unit called Quality Assurance, they take the decision that whether the product deserves to get released in the market or not. That's the reason they're expecting that Quality Assurance unit should be directly reporting to the top management. And we need to ensure that any product which is going to the market, it is meeting all the prescribed standards and it will not have any impact on our patients' safety. So this is the last control. It is being emphasized by all the regulations as part of the product release. When you're having all these basic elements built into your quality management system, we can say that you are exercising quality assurance in your organization to see that you are giving the right product to the market. On the other side, we are having something called quality control. Quality control is mainly talking about sampling and testing of the products. When we are talking about sampling and testing, it is covering the entire gamut of operations happening in the pharmaceutical industry. Suppose I'm going to buy the raw materials and pack materials. Whenever I'm buying these raw materials and pack materials, whenever I'm receiving that, I'm testing those raw materials and pack materials against certain specifications. I'm doing the testing and I'm confirming that it's meeting all my standards. Once all these raw materials and pack materials are being released, they are being taken for the manufacturing. Once we start the manufacturing process, it is undergoing several unit operations in the process of the pharmaceutical formulations, starting from API, and it is entering to the different unit operations, something like granulation or compression or coating, something like that. There are a lot of steps that you will be learning in the course of your learning. On all these stages, we are having some amount of testing of the product to see that the process follows as stipulated. And finally, in the final product, they are also being tested as per the requirements of the pharmacopoeia. Once we are finding that all these testing are complete and it's meeting the requirement of the prescribed specifications, then the product gets qualified for entering into the market. So these activities are being governed by quality control, mainly sampling and testing. So finally, just I would like to give some brief introduction about good manufacturing practice. This is a keyword for the success of any pharmaceutical industry in the world. Because as I told, pharma industry is one of the highly regulated industry, and it is subject to a lot of inspection by the relevant governments. The government inspector, they will be visiting the site at any point of time to see that they are meeting the requirements, because it's having a big impact on the safety and health of the entire society. So in India, we are being governed by Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. These are the rules which are prescribing basic requirements for the manufacturing industry. We can say any industry, they are getting the license for the manufacturing subject to the compliance of all the provisions of this drugs and cosmetic rules. In drugs and cosmetic rules, there's something called Schedule M. This is prescribing good manufacturing practice for pharmaceutical products. Whenever we are designing a facility, we are inviting the government authorities to visit our facility to see that we are meeting all the requirements of this Schedule M. After satisfactory compliance to the requirements of the Schedule M, then they are providing the license for the manufacturing of the product in the particular company. The Schedule M is an example for the GMP requirements for allopathic products. In the same way, we have got a lot of good manufacturing practice guidelines like Schedule M, M1. We have got Schedule M1 for providing the regulations for homeopathic manufacturing industries. And the same way, we have got M2 for the industries who are manufacturing cosmetics. The same way, we are having Schedule T for the industries who are manufacturing herbal formulations. And all these things are the regulations and guidelines and directives from the government to see that you are following the right practices to give the right product to the market. Just instead of giving giving some analogy so that you can understand what it means. If you are looking at this good manufacturing practice guidelines from the regulations, that could be of nearly about 30 pages or 40 pages document. But in my own language, I can say that GMP is nothing but doing the right things in right way, at right time, and every time. This is what about good manufacturing practice. When I'm saying this, it looks a bit easy, doing the right things in the right way, at right time, and every time. Now I want you to imagine that you are driving in the road. Now you apply this definition to yourself for your driving practice. When you're driving, are you doing the right thing in the right way, at right time, and most importantly, every time? Now you can realize the challenges in following the good manufacturing practice. But in my understanding, though it is not easy, definitely it is not difficult as long as we are committed to the health of the society. What you do is important and how you do is vital. This is what's about good manufacturing practice. Just I would like to give what it talks about. When I'm saying that good manufacturing practice guidelines constitute about 40 to 50 pages of the document, what it talks about system requirements. When you want to operate any pharmaceutical manufacturing company, what are the systems you need to have as part of the company to operate the manufacturing activity? It talks about facility. you need to have certain basic bare minimum requirements for manufacturing any pharmaceutical industries. So they are all being stipulated in GMP guideline and process controls. When you are going to do the manufacturing of the product, how and what kind of controls you are going to exercise during the manufacturing process in such a way that you are able to manufacture the product consistently meeting the requirements, and you are able to take care of the safety of the patient and the public. It also talks about documentation. If you're asking anybody from pharmaceutical industry, they will say that they will use this word documentation, because in pharmaceutical industries, everything has to be documented. In the sense, if you are not maintaining any document, they will not accept that you have done that activity. We need to have the documentary evidence for all the activities what you are doing for manufacturing the product, because that's the only evidence that you have followed the right practices during the manufacturing. And this will be the information for reconstructing any events in case of any problem of the product in the market, or if there is any serious consequences we are facing in any patient, then all this back information will be referred back to see whether everything has gone right way or there was some abnormality in the manufacturing of the product in such a way that what could have gone wrong. That can be investigated, and we can decide on what needs to be done to protect the patients. So all these things are being prescribed as part of the good manufacturing practice, as part of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. And of course, when you are doing this course, you'll be having some glimpses of all these requirements. And finally, to conclude this session, just I would like to give the relationship between quality control, GMP, and quality assurance. As I told, quality control is talking about sampling and testing. When the sampling and testing is being enveloped by good manufacturing practices. In fact, QC is a part of the GMP. When QC combines with good manufacturing practices, then we are getting into the next level, which is called quality assurance. That talks something more than GMP and QC. When you're having quality assurance system in place in the industry, we can say that your systems are adequate enough to see the product and to give the right product to the patients. So with this, just I'm concluding my session. I hope I have done some justice for this time, and I'm able to give some glimpse of the word and the terminology quality what we are using in the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you.
students, if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask to sir. New students. Anybody having any doubt, they can ask to sir now. Means regarding your queries about industry also, you can ask to sir also now.
I would like to have the questions from the students. In fact, I would say when we were students, we didn't have this kind of opportunity to interact with the industry.
Yes, sir. So for that,
Your university is giving the great opportunity for you to have the understanding about the industry, getting into that. You don't need to restrict your question. You can also ask any general questions about the
anybody from student side? Okay, sir. So I think there is no queries from student side because they are new and they are starting their career. So I think they have so many questions, but they are not asking anything. So thank you, sir. Actually, we get a vast idea about quality control and quality assurance and good manufacturing practice. So whatever that is running in industry, so about that we got a vast idea. and it will be beneficial for students also, and for faculty members, those who are listening here, for them also it is very beneficial. And we are very glad to get you as our resource, and we think this type of session in future, suppose we are conducting, you also help us, and you will just take some sessions like this in near future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yogita madam.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir, for such a stimulating speech. And we are greatly appreciate the time you spent for today's session. So now, after such a knowledgeable session, may I request Dean, sir, to kindly present token of appreciation.
Sir, though Dean sir is absent, so from Dean sir side, I am very much thankful, representing a law of token. So please accept it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So dear students, moving ahead to our next session of the day, I would like to invite my co-host to kindly take over.
Thank you, ma'am. As Swami Vivekananda said, when you are doing any work, do not think of anything beyond. Do it as worship, as the highest worship, and devote your life to it for the time being. With this success quote, we will move to our next session. And today we have Dr. Ajit Kumar Thakur. Welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir is currently working as assistant professor at School of Pharmaceutical Science, Delhi Pharmaceutical Science and Research University, New Delhi. He has done his M.Pharm and PhD in pharmacology from IIT BHU, Varanasi. He is an Inspire Fellow awarded from DST Government of India and his PhD degree awarded in the year 2014. He has published more than 40 research and review papers in reputed international and national journals and one book chapter in Springer Publishers. Sir has got industrial and research training at Sun Pharma, Jammu and Bicon, Bangalore, India. Dr. Thakur was also conferred with G. Acharya Award in 2016 by Indian Pharmacological Society. He has guided 5 M.Pharm scholars, presently 3 PhD and 5 M.Pharm scholars are working under his supervision. Sir, I am very privileged to welcome you for RM 2021. We are very grateful to you for accepting our invitation, and I took it as a proud moment for me as you are my also teacher and mentor. Thank you, sir. Today, sir will enlighten the session on career in pharmaceutical science, a pharmacologist's perspective. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for a nice introduction. Really, it is the RM of that session. So I would like to just congratulate all the newly admitted student in the course. It is really a bright area, and I'm happy to share you some pharmacological pharmacologist perspective about the career in pharmaceutical science. So first, I'm going to share that PPT which I have prepared for the topic session. But yes, I'm also willing to listen from you, all the newly admitted student, for your query, your concern about the pharmaceutical sciences career, which you have opted, and then we will discuss more. So just I am sharing my PPT. Okay, so I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so fine. Yeah, that pharmaceutical sciences, it is a big area. I'm going to pick one of the area that is one of the subject, that is a pharmacology. There are lots of scope in that pharmaceutical sciences career that is related to your curriculum part, that concept of understanding what you have learned throughout your previous sciences +2. Every subject you have idea how you have completed that. So first, I want to share something about why you have a pharmaceutical sciences career. Because you have opted after +2, you have knowledge of biological sciences, you have knowledge of science. So that is the pharmaceutical sciences again, and that is the major in pharmacy. Okay, so what is the pharmacy? That is to dispense drug and counsel patients. That is the ultimate ultimate aim of that pharmaceutical sciences. You have to dispense drug and counsel patients whether you have to take the medicine or not. You can work in pharma companies, hospitals, healthcare facilities, research labs, pharmaceutical industry, government colleges and universities. You can interact with the patients and healthcare professionals. So it is an entirely healthcare area where you have to interact with the patients and healthcare professionals, maybe a doctor, maybe a team of the member, which is ongoing on the new treatment protocol, designing of the new treatment therapy. That is the concept. You have to interact with the all, and also to the patients who are going to tell you, I'm suffering from that type of consequences after taking the medicine. Okay, you have to have a skill in communication, math, sciences, patient's care, ethics, and empathy. That's why a curriculum design for the pharmacy is so large. You have to have a vast knowledge of that pharmaceutical sciences. Apart from this, pharmaceutical sciences is also involved in the drug discovery and development. You can work in the pharmaceutical industry for the drug discovery and development, research labs, college and universities where this type of drug discovery and development going on. I will give you the example how a drug is going to be developed after just a small research in universities and college or simple a small research lab. We have a historical example how a drug molecule is in the market. So that is the field. So you can interact with the research scientists, industrial partners, which you have an idea. You have an idea of a development of a drug. You can interact with the research scientist. You can interact with the industry partner. Again, you have to have a skill for the research scientist also, math, science, lab techniques, and problem solving. No doubt that B.Pharm curriculum is designed in India is compilation of all the skillful subject. So now, what is pharmacologist? Actually, the pharmacy field you will learn, the subject is the core subject like pharmacology, pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy. There are 4 major subjects. And apart from this, supporting subject are lots of informative, which is correlating to that 4 major branches. Nowadays, other allied branches in the pharmaceutical science also there, just like pharmaceutical biotechnology, drug regulatory affairs. Again, different type of analytical chemistry is included in that. So it is a subject-based career. So what you have picked, what you have to pick in that subject career, you become a specialist in that. Here in DIPSRU, I am in assistant professor in pharmacology because my background of master and PhD is pharmacology. No doubt we have idea how to formulate a drug also, how to analyze a chemical reaction, how to interpret a biochemical reaction inside body. That's why I'm telling you that is the clubbing of all knowledge is required for a scientist, or required for a researcher in college and university also. So that pharmacologist, they have to develop new drug to cure, treat and prevent disease apart from the available drug in the market. Test substances to find if they are harmful. No doubt, whenever we are talking about the drug, that may be harmful for some extent, for a larger extent. So you have to test and you have to have the study effect of the drug. That is the pharmacology. The definition is to have a effect of drug on body or have a effect of body on drug, that we will you will learn throughout your pharmacy career what is actually subject pharmacology, and the expert in the pharmacology subject is called as pharmacologist. So this is the historical. I'm going to give you some background of historical pioneers of pharmacology, that is the Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. We always remember him, that they given the modern medicine system. Then the father of modern experimental pharmacology is Claude Bernard. They are experimental pharmacology. They took some experiment on that drug, whether it is helpful or not. That type of experiment, it is called experimental pharmacology. Oswald is also scientist. They are called as father of modern pharmacology. Because for father of modern medicine, they are actually the application of the drug, but the pharmacology means they are going to study the drug. Okay, so this is how different pioneers is available. In India, Ramnath Chopra, that is the father of Indian pharmacology called. They are Indian by origin, and they are father of Indian pharmacology. Similarly, different branches of the pharmacology emerges and different scientists are involved. They are Louis Lasagna, father of clinical pharmacology. What is clinical pharmacology? The terminology clinical means they are involved in some clinical setup. This is I have taken 2 or 3 scientists background, how they have worked in the field, that is the Oswald. They are father of modern pharmacology. Why it is modern pharmacology? Because they have given the recent usage of recent study of that drug. They have introduced in 1885, that is the one drug called as hypnotic. So you will learn what is hypnotic, what is different type of drug is there, how they are working. So these are the scientists of India, the father of Indian pharmacology. They obtained an MD degree from Cambridge University, and they appointed as the first professor of pharmacology in Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine. So that is their career started, and they are director of the was the director at the drug research lab at Srinagar. So they have worked lots of work in the pharmacology, and they have given. So he first introduced the done systemic study of Rofilvia serpentina, one of the plant-based drug. They have given the systemic study, how they work, how they affect, what are the consequences of that. And one of the research institute, CDRI, Colonel Ramnath Chopra was the established one of the member who is the contributed the establishment of first National Drug Research Institute. They are now called as CDRI. So this type of contribution by the scientist, pharmacologist in India, and Indian Post and Telegraph Department has issued a commemorative stamp in his honor. One stamp is very, very important in the career. If you have a chance to introduce yourself. So what is actually drug? Lots of drug in the market. I think you are in science background, you must know some market drug is available. So think about the historical background, how they develop, how they are changes from time to time based on their effect, based on their efficacy. So this is the terminology we will learn. You will learn during your career what is efficacy, what is the safety. Sometimes some drug is withdrawn from the market. You must have an idea of newspaper. If you learn from there, some drug is came in the market and sometimes they have withdrawn. So that type of thing. So one of the video I have incorporated here. I think it is visible. If it is not, then I will share again the screen. I think it is visible. Just confirm me if it is visible.
Sir, I
Yes.
think
That video I am going to share. That video is visible or not?
No, sir.
no, sir, no.
No.
No,
Okay.
No, sir.
no, sir.
Yeah, I am sharing that screen again.
No, sir.
Just stop share. And I'm going to share again that video share.
In the shadow of World War II, Lewis S. Goodman and Alfred Gilman were recruited by the U.S. government to answer an odd question. Could chemical weapons be used to
You will
combat?
learn that book of Goodman and Gilman also. They have given some information
At
what is
diseases?
pharmacology.
Goodman and Gilman had a theory that mustard gas could treat cancer in certain types of cells. Long story short, in 1946, they found that a mustard gas-related compound reduced the size of tumors in a patient. It was the first successful human application of chemotherapy, which went on to help millions of cancer patients. It's also just one of many great examples of pharmacology's impact on the world. Pharmacology is the science of how drugs and other compounds interact with biological systems, from the molecule to the cell, to the organ, to the whole of you or your dog or any other living thing. It's critical to medicine, psychiatry, dentistry, veterinary science, and many other fields. From aspirin to antibiotics to acne medicine, pharmacology is at the heart of a range of crucial medical discoveries that improve everyday life. But let's get one thing out of the way. Pharmacology is often mixed up with pharmacy, which is an entirely separate discipline in the health sciences. Pharmacy uses the knowledge from pharmacology to come up with the best treatments through the dose and preparation of medicines. Got it? Okay, good. For thousands of years, people have known about the toxic and therapeutic effects of certain plants, animals, and minerals. Ancient Egyptian and Chinese writings represent the earliest collection of pharmacological knowledge. But the birth of modern pharmacology happened in the early 19th century with the work of Francois Magendie. Magendie's research on the famous poison strychnine clearly established that drugs and poisons must be absorbed into the bloodstream and carried to a site of action before they take effect. The work of Magendie and his colleagues helped establish some of the techniques and principles that drove the science of pharmacology, which had a massive impact in the 20th century. More than 20 pharmacologists received Nobel Prizes in this era for their discoveries of important drugs and neurotransmitters, among lots of other breakthroughs. In more recent years, a major contribution of pharmacology has been a better understanding of how drugs, hormones, and other compounds interact with cell surface receptors. These are important proteins that allow for communication between the cell and the outside world. This led to highly selective drugs with fewer side effects, reductions in infectious diseases, and even cures for certain types of cancers. The development of drugs for asthma, heart failure, pain relief, anxiety, and much more. Going forward, pharmacology is going to continue to push into exciting new frontiers. It could open the door to personalized medicine, where a drug treatment and dosage could be tailored to your genetics. Nanorobots could deliver drugs to hyper-specific targets in the body. Regenerative pharmacology could lead to the development of bioengineered and regenerating tissues. There are still many diseases that we don't know how to treat effectively. Types of cancer, autism, depression, and addiction, just to name a few. You could be part of the solution. Pharmacology and its related fields are going to be at the forefront of future treatments for many diseases. To learn more about pharmacology.
So that is the video related to what is actually pharmacology is there and how a pharmacology is historically developed, a drug, molecule, and time to time they are having some development. So one of the example here is given like that drug history of 1910 to 2020, and now you can see different type of drug is available. So that before that previous how a cancer treatment is there, and nowadays what type of cancer treatment. So you can see in historical time they have either surgical removal of organ, tumor, maybe a harmful, maybe a life-threatening process to surgically treatment. After that 1900, some radiotherapy is available because of the exploration of that X-ray. That X-ray is discovered by Marie and Pierre Curie, and the treatment of tumor by the X-ray radiation. Now in 1940, some chemicals are developed that is having chemotherapeutic. They develop anti-tumor drug for treatment of hematological and solid tumor. Then after targeted therapy, how the cancer develop, what is the process of cancer development, they can be treated by the specific target therapy. Just like tyrosine kinase, one of the enzyme which is involved in the cancer development. So some drug is going to inhibit that enzyme and cancer development is stopped. Sometimes antibodies playing very great role for the treatment of cancer. And now recently in the monoclonal antibodies, they are just checkpoint of the disease condition stopping condition there. So this type of development in the pharmaceutical sciences is majorly due to the exploration, the study of the drug, that is called as pharmacology. Pharmacology, you have to study the drug and their effect. So how a compound becomes drug, that is a very, very important aspect. You have to know how a simple compound becomes drug. That is the drug discovery and development timeline. Obviously, the pharmacologists have to play a great role, have a complete role for the starting from the drug discovery to drug development. Drug discovery means you have to explore some drug molecule compound, and development means they have to convert it in the dosage form, means a tablet, capsule, injection, whatever the dosage form is there. So that is called as development. So one of the video is here also. I'm going to share you that how a drug is going to develop in throughout the pharmaceutical career. So you will learn from here, that is how a drug is going to develop. So you can see I'm sharing that screen. Yeah. Yes. So this is one of the video from the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, NIH, USA. That video is very, very important to how a drug is going to develop.
Aims to prevent or treat disease. While the end result, a small pill or capsule, seems so simple, the process for developing a safe and effective new drug is anything but. Development can take as long as 20 years and cost more than $1 billion. Like a relay race, drug development has several stages and requires a team effort, often involving the government, universities, and pharmaceutical companies to reach the finish line. The process begins with basic research. U.S. government agencies, such as the National Institutes of Health, conduct and fund research at laboratories around the world to uncover fundamental knowledge about diseases. This research helps identify potential drug targets, usually genes or proteins whose functions are critical to the survival or spread of a disease-causing organism. Scientists then investigate how they can interfere with these targets to either control or eliminate disease. They may test tens of thousands of chemical or biological compounds to see if they either inhibit or stimulate a given target. Usually, only a very small percentage of these compounds will have an effect on the target. These hits are then rescreened multiple times to confirm the results and further trim the list of potential drug candidates. Researchers look for compounds that interact only with the desired target. If a compound reacts to unrelated targets, there is a greater chance of adverse side effects. To further minimize this risk, researchers conduct experiments to optimize a compound's absorption, distribution, and metabolism inside the body. These studies help determine which compounds are safe and effective enough for further testing. With the results from these preclinical studies, drug developers seek permission from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to begin testing the compounds in people. If granted, scientists embark on a 3-phase clinical testing process that will determine whether a drug will be approved for public use. Because clinical testing requires a substantial investment, it is common for pharmaceutical companies to play a larger role during this stage. Phase 1 clinical trials test an experimental drug in about 20 to 80 healthy adults to evaluate its safety, determine a safe dosage range, and identify side effects. In phase 2, the drug is given to approximately 100 to 300 people, including those with the target disease, to get an early indication of how the drug is working and to further evaluate its safety. Phase 3 trials evaluate the drug in a group of 1,000 to 3,000 people who have the disease. These trials aim to confirm the drug's effectiveness and monitor side effects. They also may compare the drug to commonly used treatments or to no treatment at all. The larger size of phase 3 trials allows for results that are more statistically significant or less likely to have occurred by chance. If a drug successfully completes phase 3 testing, a company will seek permission from the FDA to market the compound. Its application contains data from all the preclinical studies and clinical trials, along with information that the FDA will need to make its decision on the drug's safety, efficacy, and quality. If approved, the drug can be manufactured and sold to prevent or treat the disease in question. But the process doesn't stop there. The FDA will continue to monitor the drug's safety and effectiveness for as long as it remains on the market.
So that video is very, very stimulating, no doubt, and you will learn that that is the all process happen in the drug development. You know, you have a great information of COVID vaccine. Oxford University has given one of the vaccine, how they started the research in the lab. They got funded from the NIH and they started the university lab. They work on some cell, they work on some animal, which is coronavirus infected animal model or cell line. They think that this type of vaccine is very, very important. And they find some information, they take the permission from the food FDA, and then that vaccine is developed in the industry. So a university, a industry collaboration is very, very important in that aspect. And they got some clue, some ideas, some drug concept, everything can be developed in the industry. I think I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here, light cut was there in our office. So I'm back now. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir.
That is the history of that drug is going to develop with the drug, a small molecule, just like a vaccine. Several vaccine was there. One vaccine came in the market. Similarly, lots of drug compound, thousands of compound is tested in the preclinical. That is a small animal, maybe a cell, they base test, and you got some compound which is the pharmacologically active. They are safe and they are efficacious. Then they go to the clinical trial. Compound which is safe, efficacious, that useful, then FDA got approval, give the approval.
Hello, Kusuma madam, is it audible?
No, sir. I guess some network issues there. I'm
Yes,
contact.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So what actually a drug is going to be tested in the preclinical study, that is the efficacy, the mechanism of action, and the quality control test. Before that, before my lecture, there is a quality control department is there active for that drug testing, what is the quality you have measured in that pharmaceutical science. There is also pharmacological quality test. So that test may be a toxicological test, maybe a potency test, maybe a consistency assay. That means you have to have a quality product by the preclinical study also. So what actually happened in the efficacy study, mechanism of action study, or quality control, they are linked with the pharmacology. Okay, then after that, the efficacious, the safe drug is going to be take the approval from the regulatory body, just like in India is the regulatory body, in USA that is the FDA, US FDA. Here also it is called as Food and Drug Administration Department, but the name is CDSCO. So that type of drug approval for the clinical research, and then conduct of clinical research is approved, then the drug will be go to for the clinical research. In clinical research, the drug will be tested in the human body now. So in different type of clinical research, clinical trial phase, there are different clinical phases are there. So after preclinical study, the first step to development of a new drug using tissues culture or animal model, what are the preclinical study done, then the FDA given the approval for the clinical trial, the phase 1 trial. Phase 1 trial, generally in the video you have also seen that it 20 to 80 volunteer required, healthy volunteer required to test the drug adverse effect or not, or some finding of the mechanism of drug action, just like ADME, that is called as pharmacokinetic. Then if the drug is safe, then it's okay in the phase trial, then go to the phase 2 and then phase 3. After phase 3, if drug is okay, application is required approval from the FDA or CDSCO for a new drug application, that is called as NDA. So that is, if it is okay by the regulatory body, then the drug will be available in the market, and after available in the market, again the regulatory body take a measure on the drug which is available in the market, whether it is safe or not safe. After using the drug, it is harmful or not harmful, feedback is how is there. So based on that feedback, based on that market research, that is called as post-marketing surveillance, the drug may be available in the market, it is there not good, not if it, a more side effect there, then drug will be withdrawn. So here the pharmacological scientists have to work the effect of drug, side effect of the drug, indication of the drug, contraindication of the drug, and they have to make the report along with the clinical setup. Clinical setup means because the drug therapy is in India in the hospital setup or clinical setup, so they have to tie up with the hospital and clinical setup to get the data. Again, if a good pharmacological knowledge you have, pharmacological study you have done, then you have interpretation, good interpretation of the drug adverse effect, maybe a by mistake or it is really a side effect. You can interpret the report finding. Based on that, the committee decided whether the drug is to be withdrawn from the market or not. So that is the regulatory body do. And again, in regulatory body also, a good knowledge of pharmacological scientist is required. In clinical research, who do actually clinical research? A principal investigator, a clinical research coordinator. So the clinical research coordinator, also called as study coordinator, appoints some principal investigator from a hospital, from a clinical setup. Clinical research coordinator may be from industry, may be from regulatory body. They give the start of that project and they can monitor everything. So what the principal investigator do? They support management with the help of management, and they coordinate in daily trial activity. How trial is going on, how patients have to come, how healthy volunteers have to come. They all monitor all the things and the study is going on. All the documents have to prepare because this clinical trial document have to be submitted to the regulatory body for getting new drug application approval. Then after, the drug will be available in the market. You have a good knowledge nowadays how a COVID-19 vaccine there. So nowadays you can read many news what type of vaccine is there. That is actually a mRNA vaccine. If it is a new vaccine, you can think about how they process going on, how they develop in the lab, how develop in the university, and then going to with the industry, that is the AstraZeneca, and maybe a India company that is, they have developed the Covishield. So the formulation development with the industry, but the concept came from the institute, research lab, or universities. So that concept is the research, long ongoing process, maybe a 2 to 3 year, maybe a 10-year research process, maybe there. So depending on the need, and sometimes regulatory bodies give quick acceptance. That's why the drug or vaccine came in the market. So that type of thing, you need to know how a vaccine developed. So you can go with the COVID-19 vaccine development process. You can think about how a vaccine design, how a preclinical testing with the rat, mice, or monkey, or pig is there. And then if it is tested safe, then goes to the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 trial, that is called as clinical testing. Here also a pharmacologist is required to interpret the effect. In a drug adverse monitoring committee for the vaccine also, they are monitoring how after taking the vaccine, what type of adverse effect is there. Based on that adverse effect, they can claim, or their safety effect, they can claim that our vaccine is 90% safe, our vaccine is creating 90% or 98% of antibodies production, they are safe. So like that interpretation of the report is also required a good pharmacological knowledge. Then you can think about that, stages, that stages of that development, different phase we have discussed. So based on that phase, different phase had different job aspect. So you can think about the different stages of the drug development. So the job role in the birth of a medicine is different, starting from the research, discovery, different trial is there, different job required, is there. So different skilled person, different knowledgeable person is required. Just like in research, drug target identification, that is one of the basic step of drug discovery. The drug target identification, they need biochemists, because the biochemistry is the knowledge where you can interpret the enzyme activity. Some enzyme is there hyperactive, and you have a more breakdown of the carbohydrate, and more carbohydrate breakdown is there, so that more glucose is there in your body, and that high glucose level may be a condition of diabetes. So that biochemist decide which enzyme is hyperactive. Similarly, microbiologists have a knowledge of microbiology, they can interpret the microbial growth, microbial inhibition. Genetics scientist, molecular biologist, similarly pharmacologist, because one of the pharmacologists can interpret the drug effect, how they are going to work, and how this drug effect is beneficial, or what type of effect may be there. So that type of thing is related to pharmacologist. Organic chemist, medicinal chemist, everyone is involved in that type of research target. So you can choose either of your skill or either of interest area to become a part of that drug research team. Discovery means they are preclinical development of that drug. Then that preclinical development means now it is ready to use with the clinical trial, that is the development. So bioinformatics, patent attorney, toxicologist, pharmacologist, immunologist, they all are involved to have the discovery in the preclinical development. And then phases trial, regulatory affairs knowledge is required. Then clinical research associate means a person who is skillful in the clinical research, they can be a part of that. Medical writer and communication, because the report have to prepare in the well manner, and you have to have a good communication to present your data. You have to good writing skill to have a writing of skill of your result, what you have find in the different clinical or preclinical trial. So a medical writer or communication person is also required in that pharmaceutical science. Different phases are there. After that drug approval, a manufacturer means a pharmaceutical scientist, which is involved in the designing of a particular dosage form, which is stable, which may be sold in the market. Because if it is a drug, the color is black, who are going to take the medicine? That's why the color is also very, very important, so that the drug is, you can check the either it is contaminated or not. Medical sale person is required, because after production of the drug, who will sell the drug? marketing analyst, marketing person. They all are the job which is in the birth of a medicine. A drug is going to be available in the market. For bringing that drug, different type of job is there in the pharmaceutical sciences. So that is the one of the condition job is there. Yeah, just I'm changing the slide. Yeah, so that is the bright career. You can now think about the bright career in the pharmaceutical science with the different phases, different stages of that condition. So a pharmacist means retail pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, clinical pharmacist, and community pharmacist. Now think about what is actually hospital pharmacist. A hospital pharmacist means they are the person which is having a knowledge of drug, interpretation of the uses of drug. Means a person has taken some drug in the morning, can they take the second drug afternoon or not? That interpretation of the two drug effect is very, very required. That's why a pharmacologist have a good idea how a drug is going to metabolize, how drug is going to be absorbed, how it's going to be eliminated, and how many times the drug will eliminate from the body, so that you have to take the new drug, same drug or different drug, because one drug may be interact with the other drug. So a clinical pharmacist, hospital pharmacist has also good knowledge of drug interaction. Marketing, the medical representative, marketing executive, some general manager, they are involved in the drug sale. So that is one of the career. Pharma industry, manager, quality assurance, quality control, they all are involved in the good production of quality production, the manufacturing process. So all the pharmaceutical scientist or pharmaceutical person involved in the pharma industry. R&D, very, very important area where you have a good scope of interpretation of your knowledge or application of a new concept. That is research scientist, pharmacovigilance, clinical trial research associate, or some good institutions just like DRDO. Again, regulatory affairs has a good importance. That is the regulatory affairs manager, regulatory affairs executive, medical transcriptionist, medical writer, intellectual property person. They all involve in the regulation, in the guideline compliance, guideline completion, or following some regulatory guidelines. So they are called as regulatory affairs personnel. Clinical trial, obviously a drug have to be tested in human. So a clinical research associate, generally is a pharmacological background or medical background is required. For project manager, regulatory manager, they all are involved in the clinical trial. In government setup, you have a good idea. You can think about the drug inspector, one of the quality control person. Actually, they are person in the government setup. They are controlling the drug sale and quality of the drug. Drug analyst, drug controller, scientific assistant. Similarly, lots of departments have different area. Government setup, they need some pharmacists also, just like senior pharmacists. They all work in the government setup also. Self-entrepreneur, maybe retail and wholesaler, drug store, pharmaceutical company unit, or e-commerce, online pharmacy. You can have a vast area of self-entrepreneur also. In academic area, you can have a knowledge base. You can think about the institution. You may become a principal, professor, some different graded of that faculty. You can have academic based research also. Here in our university, it is a university, and we have teaching as well as research component both. So that is the bright career of opportunity in pharmacy, and you have selected a right area, right career, and you hope you will learn many things from that pharmaceutical sciences. One more slide I'm going to share you that is related to the slide which is actually our background, educational career to professional life. I did my B Pharm from MIT Muzaffarpur and M Pharm from IIT BHU and PhD, same place. I have learned lots of things in the pharmaceutical career. While I was in the B Pharm, I have learned that this is the field you can excel many things. If you have a goal, you have a target, then you can do very well in that field. Never think about the what are the going on the situation, because the pharmaceutical sciences is the field where it is always boom. You know, in the COVID, there is lots of industry they have shut down, but only the pharmaceutical science, pharmaceuticals industry, they have to work throughout time. Pharmaceutical care, healthcare professional, all have to work. So this is the field where there is a lots of career opportunity, and you have selected the right profession. And as a pharmacologist, I have learned that starting from a drug development, the drug to be tested, it is safe or not. If it is available in the market, you have to check whether it is adverse effect or not. So you have a starting to end portion. You can cover all the things from the pharmacological viewpoint. That is the topic I have selected for the today's discussion with you. Hope you have now understanding what is the pharmaceutical profession, what is the pharmaceutical career, different job, and specific to pharmacological perspective that we have discussed today. My research area is neuropharmacology and metabolic disorder. So I'm going to share one of the aspect of the research in our career. So starting from my M.Pharm, I have selected the neuropharmacology area. What is neuropharmacology? That is related to your brain function, brain behavior, a simple concept of understanding of the brain, memory, your condition of thinking, interpretation, and skill, knowledge, all things related to your brain. So what happens if a brain is suffering from some condition, maybe a stress, maybe a fearful condition, maybe some pathological condition. So that type of behavior concept we have to test in the small animal. So we can test a drug, whether it is the central nervous system active or not. You can take some model that is the mimic to the disease, that is called as rodent model. So we have taken some different type of model, and we have tested lots of drug, lots of herbal drug, which is known to Ayurveda, and we are validating that this is, yes, this is the pharmacological active and safe. We have done with the cell line also. Cell line means preclinical study without involving the animal. You can go with the cell line, tissue sample, where it is effective or not. After that, we have also tested that drug to the rabbit also, because a small animal means rat, mice, rabbit. These all animal can be tested with the drug. And my career started in the 2014 when we have completed. I have got my PhD. I have started the academic career, and in academic also we have a lots of scope to work in the research, because if you are guiding a M.Pharm or PhD student, means you have to have completed with the international level of research. So in that field also, if you are taking the academic background, academic area, there is a lots of chances you can interact with the industrial person also, you can interact with the scientist also, you can have the pipeline role in the drug development. In our university, one of the drug that is chloroquine is there in the clinical trial. Somewhat it is developed. Some state authorities have given the permission to purchase. So I was also involved in that, one of the preclinical testing of the drug. So obviously, if you will be a part of that system, your name will be there. So I'm also happy, sometimes feeling happy that yes, this drug having some extent of effect in the COVID-related consequence, that is the CNS effect that is related to COVID-19 condition. So that drug is in the market nowadays, that is chloroquine, and this is the really achievement of a professional academicians, that the pharmacological activities now recognized. So hope you have idea about that, what is the pharmacological perspective, my perspective, and your thinking. So thank you everyone for your patience listening. I want to hear from you some query, some question if you have. I will be happy to answer you.
Thank you, sir. Dear students, if any queries is there, you can ask to sir now.
Any question, student? Please unmute your mic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Deepika, good afternoon.
Sir, what is pharmaceutical sciences?
The sciences, pharmaceutical sciences means it is a component of the drug compounding and drug distribution. But the how drug compounded, that is the part of the drug discovery and drug development. After drug discovery and development, the drug will be delivered to the healthcare, through the healthcare professional to the patients. So that all the process of the drug development, drug discovery development to the distribution, it is now a part of pharmaceutical sciences.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything you can ask means regarding pharmacy to sir. No issue with that.
Any more question?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Means nice to get you in our RM 2021, sir. And I think this is our second chance we got you in this RM 2021. Previously, we met in our pharma club. So this is second time we are meeting you. Very nice to meet you, sir. And in this session, sir has means told about pharmacology and pharmaceutical science, about the history of pharmacology, as well as the drug discovery and drug development. Sir has taught the clinical research also, and Sir has given a more idea about the career in pharmacy. So, which is very beneficial for our students, means for our newcomers, because they are new to this stream, so they have to get this vast idea about the pharmacy. So, very thankful to you, sir, and nice to meet you, sir. And Khushbu madam, please proceed.
Sure, sir. It was a great pleasure, sir, to listen you, and I hope my students will learn from it. And I take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of our entire School of Pharmacy and students who were captivated by your talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I request to Alok, sir, to please present the token of appreciation to Ajit, sir.
Please,
Abhishek?
sir, accept this love of token from our School of Pharmacy and Arcajana University on behalf of Dean, sir. Though some official work is there, sir is absent today. So for that, sir, from our side, sir, please accept it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in near future, sir, we want to see you again, sir. If any on a new topic, we want to see you again, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Madam, your voice is not audible, I think.
Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes.
Okay, thank you. So moving ahead, now as Colin Powell said, there is no secret to success. It is a result of preparation, hard work, learning from failure. For sharing a story of inspiration and role modeling, we are fortunate to have with us Mr. Alok Maharana. He is currently working as associate professor in Arkajan University. He have done his B.Pharm from Institute of Pharmacy and Technology, Kalipur BPUT, Rourkela, and M.Pharm from Shiksha O Anusandhana, Bhubaneswar, and currently pursuing his PhD from Shiksha O Anusandhana, deemed to be university. He has more than 20 publications in national and international journals. Sir, I request you to please enlighten the session by your motivating words to our newcomers.
Thank you.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. So, good morning to one and all. So, for the first of all, I want to thank to all the students, those who are present in this session in RM 2021, and I am very glad to present here the keys to success, because the RM 2021 it is started from I think from 15th. So from 15th, 16th, and 17th up to now, you are listening about all the pharmaceutical things. Means because you are joining in a pharmaceutical field, in this pharmaceutical field. So for that's why you are listening about the pharmacy, what is pharmaceutical science, what is the drug discovery, what is the career in pharmacy, all these things you are listening here. But I think is it sufficient to achieve the success, or is it sufficient to get the success? Means only by listening this pharmacy. So except pharmacy, I think to tell you some thing, means pharmacy, why you have joined in the pharmacy. So all these things required. But other than that things, I will give some tips. Means I will give some keys to how to get the success. Okay, so I want to discuss about the success, what is success, and how to get the success, and what are the things we have to follow for to get this success. Okay, so anybody can tell me what is success? From student side, I need some response. Means what is success? I need some means response from student side. What is success? Anybody? Whatever you know, you just tell. Means it is not an exam, or it is not an exam, and you will get marks. Just I want to see what you know about the success, or you required or not. Success you required or not? Just please tell me. Anybody?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
Sir, success is a thing that when we complete our aim or we complete our purpose, sir, and we have achieved a post and something is called a success, sir.
Yes.
Like I have achieved my aim and I have proved my goal that I am the best in my field, and that's called a success, sir.
Yes.
And success has not a limit. There is no limit in success.
Yes. So what you have to do for this success?
Sir, I don't think so that we should always do like go ahead and not like something like that. Not it means that we have to study like hours and hours. It's not like that, sir. But only we have to think about it that how should we do? Always be different, sir. And we can pursue our aim and we can go to the goals which we are aiming through our life.
Thank you, Dhruv Kumar. Anybody?
So hard work and smart work both are needed to become a successful.
Yes, very good. Next. Okay, so both the members, whatever they told about success, yes, that is correct only. These things required for success means hard work or whatever the thing told, smart work, that is required. But I think all these things to get, this is not very easy. Okay, the path is very rough. Means to get the success, to achieve the success, to get your goal, to achieve your goal, it's not a easy thing. Means the path is very hard. You have to step by step you have to move, and when you are moving, so much things you will face, so many obstacles you will face, so many difficulties you will face. So to achieve the success, all these things means the obstacles, the hurdles you have to cross. So when you are moving at the time in a rough surface, you have to move to get this success. So for that's why generally we can tell that the mistakes will happen whenever you will work for a success, when you have to try for the success, when you have to means satisfy your goal, or you have to get your goal. So to get that one, you have whenever you are trying, you will get so many mistakes, you will do so many mistakes. So mistakes are painful when they happen. Means when we are trying at the time, so many hurdles will come, so many obstacles will come. So at that time, maybe the to achieve that goal, it may be very painful. Okay, so but if you gather that mistakes, if you collect that mistakes, and it will convert into your experience. Whenever you will collect that mistakes, when you will gather that mistakes, and one day you will get your goal. So if you collect all these experience, if you, join all these experience, then you will get that success. So mistakes are painful when they happen. Means in the initial stage you will be frustrated. You will be frustrated. Means why it is not happening? Why I am failure in this means line. So these things it will come, but in latter, if you collect all these things and you will gather that one, and you will automatically the experience will increase, then you will leads to success. Means that failure, that painful moment, that mistakes, all these things it will give you success. So in the initial stage it may be harder, but after that when you will get that success, when you will achieve that success, it may be very means pleasant for you, it may be very peaceful for you. So for that's why when the mistakes will happen, when the problem will arise, at that time you don't have to stop, you have to move, you have to move towards your goal. So that is the generally thing to get the success. And whenever we are seeing the successful person, who is the successful person, if you see the means those who are in a higher position, maybe the Dhirubhai Ambani, maybe the Anil Ambani, maybe the Mukesh Ambani, maybe the in Bollywood movie, if you see the Badshah, means Shah Rukh Khan, we can tell, maybe the Amitabh Bachchan. So those who are the successful person, suppose Sachin Tendulkar, if you see, so every successful person has a painful story. If you look behind their life, if you study their biography or autobiography, whatever it may be, then automatically you can find out the painful story behind that success. So every successful person has a painful story, and every painful story has a successful ending. So to accept the pain and get ready for success. If you want success, if you want to be highlighted, if you want to reach your goal, then you have to be means you have to work hard, and you have to get that pain, and you have to get the success. And after that all will tell this person is a successful person, and that person is a successful person. But at that time you have to show them the story behind your successness. Okay, so to get the successful things means there is a story. Every person, those who are successful, they have a painful story, and every painful story having a successful ending, and we can tell that that is the success. So to get success, be ready for the pain. Okay. And according to the American educationist Marva Collins, she has told that success does not come to you, you go to it. Means if you sleep, nobody will give you food. Okay, if you sleep, nobody will give you the water. Okay, and these things, suppose somebody will give, how many days he will give, or how many days he will give? Only one day, only one time, only one day, or 2 days or 3 days, like that they will give. But every time if you sleep and if you will eat, nobody will give. So for your food you have to work hard. Suppose if you are working for food, then why you don't have to work for the new things? So to get the success, you have to go to the success. Success won't come to you. So for that's why you have to work hard, you have to gain the pain, you have to do the mistake, and you have to learn from the mistake. So then only you can get the success. Okay, so according to Marva Collins, the success does not come to you, you go to it. So here I am showing you one picture. If you see that picture, anybody has did in the school time? This is the classroom I have picture I have shown here. So students maybe did these things. Have you did? कोई तो किया होगा ना क्लास में?
Yes, sir.
ये तो है सर, इससे बड़ा बड़ा कांड किए हैं,
बड़े बड़े कांड किए हो. Okay. Is it good?
No, sir.
It depends on us, sir.
Means depend upon us means is it good or bad? That things I am asking.
From my point of view, sir, it is good. But from
why
other point of view,
good?
I don't.
Why it is good? Just tell me.
Sir, it is good because when we grew up, when we look into our past, then we think that we have no memories. But from my side, sir, when I look back from my past in my school time, that I have created very much memories from my classroom, from my friends. That's why, sir.
Yes, means
because of my age,
yes,
maturity. That's why it can be from my point.
Yes, correct. But these things when you have did at the time, I think you are in school, you are in a child time, you have did these things.
Yes,
So
sir.
at that time, maybe due to your unconsciousness, you have did these things.
Yes, sir.
But now you are not in a school time. Now you are in a in a bachelor life. You have joined, means this is the bachelor degree, the course you are doing. So these things you have did in your child time, and these things also, I think these things also you have did in that time.
Yes, sir.
But if in your point of view you are telling this is good, I think yes, means in childhood time that is okay, due to your unconsciousness you have did. But we can tell that is the good thing, means in your point of view you are telling that is good, but I will tell that is not the good thing you have did. Means in your point of view you are telling that is good, but if you see, if you look back that things, is it the correct thing you have did?
No, sir.
Yes. So these things means you have to learn. These things you have to learn. Success means only hard working. We are telling hard working means if you read and if you write the exam and you get the mark, is that success? If you get that a good job, is that a success? If
Sir,
you
I never
get
told that only hard
yes.
work gives you success. I
Yeah.
never told this like.
No. I am telling that it's means I am telling in the point of view of from my side. I am asking that one. If we are writing, you are studying well and you are writing the exam properly and getting the 100 to 100 marks, and after that you are facing one interview, you are getting the good response also, and after that you are getting job also there and you are getting high package. Is that the good thing?
No,
Without
sir.
respect, without
No, sir.
respect, without respect, is it the good thing?
No,
Is
sir.
it the success?
No,
No,
sir.
No,
because
sir.
yes, you will get all these things, the salary, the marks, the job, all these things you will get. Okay, means in your by your hard work, these things you will get. But after all, if respect is not there, these things is meaningless. Okay, these things is priceless. Whatever the success you got, that is the priceless success. That is if you may got you may get the means lakhs of salaries, but after 2 days or 3 days, if respect is not there, your boss will throw you outside from that campus. Your boss will throw you from that company without respect. That money you are getting, okay, ठीक है, तुम्हारे पास नॉलेज है, तुम्हारे पास सपोज सर्टिफिकेट है, डिग्री है, तुमको जॉब मिल जाएगा. लेकिन after that, when you are not giving respect to your higher authority, if you are not giving respect to your elders, if you are not giving respect to your boss, then he will throw you within the 1 month notice. Okay, he will throw you outside. So for that side, you have to learn how to respect to your seniors, how to respect your faculty members, how to respect when you are doing the job. If you are at the time of job, how you have to respect to your boss. So all these things you have to learn. So respect your all elders, and the world will respect you. If you are giving respect, then automatically you get the respect. So for that's why, my dear students, you have to learn how to respect. So now you are not in campus. When you will come to campus, when you will see your seniors, when you will see your faculty members, when you will see your means vice chancellor sir or director sir or any of your elders, at that time you have to respect them. Okay, so this is my sincere request to you, and you have to follow that one. If you will follow, then I will be more happy. Next one is that good manners. So manners that is required. Manners means what is the manners? Means we can tell that the way of behavior, the way of behavior towards others. You maybe they are senior, maybe your junior. So how we are behaving them, how we are behaving towards them. So that things it also plays a vital role to get the success. Means when you are seeing your seniors, when you are seeing your juniors, how you treat them, how you greet them, what is your gesture towards them, what is your postures towards them. So that is called as good manners. So that good manners also a key for the success. Okay, so for that why you have to learn how to give the how our behavior it will be, how our manner it will be. So good manners is about considering the feeling of other people and being the kind person that others will like and respect. Means we have to behave in such a way that others will feel good for us. Others will generally, by seeing us, they will also give respect to others. They will also behave nicely towards others. So for that's why good manners, it also plays a key towards the success. So for that's why we have to learn the good manners. What are the good manners? We can tell that courtesy, politeness, or having good manners are all about respecting others and yourself. When you will respect the others, automatically you will get respect. So for that's why generally when we are seeing the people, when we are seeing our seniors, when we are seeing our juniors, at that time the politeness it should be required. The politeness it should be required. How we are greeting them. So that things it is required. So if you are telling thank you, if you are telling excuse me, if you can tell them you are the very helpful for us. So there is nothing to be worry about that one. If you tell all these things, you won't be means small in front of the others. So for that's why this politeness, these things required in a student to get the success, to achieve the success. So you when you are dealing with your seniors, when you have to deal with your faculty members, at that time this politeness it is very much required. Okay. So good manners will open the doors that the best education cannot. If you have good manners, then automatically the success door it will open. If you have a more education, if you have a more degree also, that is not a matter. But good manner it is required for a student to achieve the success. So good manners will open the doors that the best education cannot. Humbleness. So what is that humbleness? That is also we can tell that how much we are numb, how much we are down to earth. So that thing it is required in case of a student. Means this humbleness it is required in a student. If the humbleness will be there, automatically step by step you can reach towards your goal. Okay. So for that's why this humbleness also required to get the success. And another thing, in the case of means in the teenage, I think this thing it will be more the angerness. So control your anger before the anger will control you. Okay, so control your anger before the anger will control you. That thing it is required in case of a student, in case of anybody. But though I am telling to you, so you have to control your angerness. Suppose something somebody will tell you, suppose somebody will scold you, means your senior, your higher authority, your faculty members, sometimes if they are scolding you, so that scolding means that is for your benefit only. So at that time you don't have to be angry on them, you have to control your angerness. If you control that angerness, automatically you will achieve your goal. If you at that time you will show your angerness, at that time nobody will help you. After that last, only you will get the failure, nobody will get that failure. So control your angerness. So one story here, that is also from Google I have taken, that is a frog decided to reach the top of the tree. All the frogs shouted, it is impossible, it is impossible. Still the frog reaches the top. How? Because here all frogs they are shouting, means it is impossible, you can't do it, you can't reach that top of that tree. But after that, that frog is reaching that top of the tree. How that frog is doing such things? Means here we can see that, or we can tell that the frog is deaf. The frog was deaf, so he thought everyone is encouraging him to reach the top. So be deaf to negative thoughts. If your aim is to reach your goal, if your goal is fixed, then whatever they are telling in your surroundings, the members, your friends, your seniors, your colleagues, whatever they are telling, so don't listen all these things. You have to deaf. Okay, at that time you have to deaf towards the negative thoughts, towards that negative thinking, and then only you can reach your goal. Suppose at that time you will think, yeah, my friend is telling we can't do, so we have to leave it. Like that if you do means, then you cannot achieve that goal. So at that time, you have to deep to the negative thoughts. You have to deep towards the negative thinkings, and your aim you have to fix, and you have to reach towards your aim. If whatever it may be, whatever the path it may be, you have to reach towards your goal. Okay, so be deep to the negative thoughts. So another thing, this is means after this I will conclude my slide. Means whenever you will come to the campus, sometimes I have heard from so many students here, this is not there, this is not available, that is not available, these things we are not getting, that things we are not getting. So leave that things, start where you are. Means when you are in the campus, what are the things are available towards you, you just use that one. So use what you have. So at that time, generally when you are coming to the campus, you have to see that what are the things are available towards you, use that things to get your success, to get your goal, and do what you can. Means how much labor you have, you can do, that things you have to give, your 100% effort you have to give to achieve your goal. So start where you are and use what you have and do what you can. So by saying these things, I am concluding my session. And so many things are there, but here the time is little. When you will come to the campus, I will take the some this type of classes also I will take, and thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir, for such motivating words. I hope this will help the students in their future. Now, moving the end of the today's session. Thank you, everyone. And I request all of you to get ready for national anthem. Abhishek.
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students. Abhishek, we can end the meeting.